In this world, there are two types of people. Those who think that I make way too many videos on me, Kevin, and should probably tone it down. And those who think that I don't make nearly enough videos on me, Kevin, and should make more. Now, I actually tend to side with the second option. I side more with the people who think that I don't make enough videos on me, Kevin, because this guy, every single week, it's nonstop. He's always under some sort of controversy or doing something crazy or doing something newsworthy. I mean, seriously, out of all of the finance YouTubers that I cover, you guys have got to give me this and admit it. This guy does more controversial stuff that upset his followers or the YouTube finance community than anybody else that I cover. Like, let's just be real. And so now we find ourselves under a new controversy that Meet Kevin has found himself into. And because of what my channel was centered around, I have to cover it. So if you're one of those people who's like, oh my God, another Meet Kevin video, well, you should probably just click off this video then, because I got to do my job, okay? I have to do my job. So here's what we got going on. So Meet Kevin recently posted, it says 3 hours ago right here. He posted 3 hours ago a video titled, I Was Wrong. And, you know, if you look at his latest videos, you could clearly see that, you know, I'm not really watching his videos the way that I used to. You know what I mean? Like, you can see right here, all these videos right here I didn't watch. Like, some of his interviews he's been talking about I watch, but overall, I don't really watch his videos. I don't really pay attention to them anymore because it's the same repetitive fear-mongering garbage. However, I did watch this video because he clickbaited me. He posted a video titled, I Was Wrong. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe. I don't know what he's talking about, but it got my attention. So I clicked on that video, right? And as soon as I clicked on that video, I went to the comments. And the comments were filled with all of these, you're horrible for how you're treating your mom and your mom this. And I'm like, what on earth are they talking about? I've never heard Meet Kevin ever talk about his mother, ever. He's talked about his father sometimes, but I ain't never heard him talk about his mother. Never. So that's an interesting thing right there. So that really piqued my curiosity even more. So I didn't watch the full video, as you guys can clearly see here. I only watched like, you know, like a fourth of it or something like that. But I got kind of the gist of kind of what's going on here. And so basically, he kind of threw his mother under the bus. And he revealed something that had a lot of people upset. Let me go ahead and go over to the community tab. The community tab actually explains it better than me playing that 21-minute video that nobody's going to watch. At least not all the way to the end. So here's what he said. He said, this is very frustrating. Some are mad my mom lives paycheck to paycheck. For those who don't know, he basically revealed in the video I titled I Was Wrong that his mother lives paycheck to paycheck. So he said, some are mad my mom lives paycheck to paycheck. They say I'm greedy. You have a jet and your mom lives paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that does sound pretty bad when you word it like that. And then he says, facepalm, I bought my mom a $700,000 house in SoCal and provided I did the same for my dad. She chose a different life. In the last 3 years, I've paid over $15 million in taxes, donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity and subscribers. I would like to see proof of that because I've never known Kevin to be much of a person who donates or shares his money. If you want my honest opinion, I actually kind of perceive him as a greedy person too. I'm not saying he is because I don't know, but that's my perception of him, right? Because I've never seen him do anything charitable or give people money ever. That's just me. He says I provided over $300,000 in cars to family members. I bought a $700K home for dad, bought a $700K home for mom. People's assumptions are so wrong. Sometimes there's more to a family relationship and happiness than money. And despite my best efforts, I cannot solve problems between my mom and other family members. Money doesn't solve everything. Okay, so we're going to break this whole thing down, guys, okay? First off, Kevin, I know you're going to watch this video because you watch every video that I make on you. I just want to say right now, Kevin, you made a huge mistake because let me tell you how I was raised. The way that I was raised, you keep your family business out of the public media, okay? You keep your family business private. Nobody else needs to know private family matters. There are private family matters that are crazy. Like if you guys heard some of the stories, you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. But you'll never hear about because it stays within the family. It's nobody's business. But real quick, today's video is sponsored by Future Fitness, a fitness and coaching app like no other. Future Fitness is an app that connects you with your very own personal trainer who crafts customized workouts based on your goals, needs, schedule, and location. No matter if you're just a beginner starting out or if you're a seasoned fitness enthusiast looking for that extra push from a professional, Future Fitness Fitness has you covered. The app is fantastic for tracking your progress and getting real-time feedback in order to stay on track with your fitness journey. The support that you receive from Future Fitness doesn't just end with the creation of your workout plan either. With a combination of voice prompts during your exercises, regular video check-in calls, and the option of instant messaging within the app, it feels as though your trainer is always right there with you, guiding you through every single rep and set that you're doing in your workout. Whether your goal is to get back into a consistent gym routine, shed some pounds, or simply feel healthier and more energetic, there's an expert Future Fitness trainer waiting to assist you. So if you're ready to take your fitness journey to the next level, go ahead, click my link below and go to tryfuture.co/echoes to get started. And also my link is down below in the description, as I just said. And yeah, feel free to click that link below. Check it out. I think you guys will really like it. Back to the video. So one of the big mistakes that you made was outing your own mother and saying, oh, she lives paycheck to paycheck. I don't even know why you would say something like that. And it's crazy that you don't learn your lesson because you made this mistake before. You had 2 employees that worked for you back in like 2022 or something like that, and they left. They absolutely just quit on you, and you got really upset by that, and you outed them on your YouTube, which in my opinion was a very dumb decision, and to me further reinforces that they probably made a good decision in leaving you, because if you leave your employer who's a social media star and they out you and they put your business out there, it kind of reinforces everything that they thought about you all along. So the lesson and the bottom line that I'm trying to say here is certain things do not need to be made public. And I don't know why you would tell the world, your 1.8 million subscribers, that your mother lives paycheck to paycheck, but you should have known that you were going to get that kind of backlash. You know, it's like, dude, you have a private plane, you've got cars, and you're traveling all the time. And let's be real, you're a flashy dude. You're not humble. You're not conservative, you know, like you're a very flashy guy. You're like all of these other guys on YouTube who got a bunch of money fast for turning on a camera and talking. You know, it's not like you built this incredible business or anything like that. And I'm not taking away from what you did on YouTube, because what you did on YouTube is incredible, but it's not the same as the CEO of DraftKings or the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk. You know, somebody who really built it from scratch. It's a different type of thing. You know what I mean? And so, you know, you're a flashy dude. And so now you've built up a bunch of bad will, not only for your grifter past, but also because of the flexing you've done. You bought a private plane. You bragged it all ridiculously. You just lost your mind bragging about the fact that you got that plane, which no matter how you slice it, there are always going to be people that are upset by that because, like I said, you didn't take the humble approach. There are a lot of billionaires and rich people who have private planes and they don't brag about it. The only way you know that they got a private plane is the newspapers report on it. That's the only way that you even know about it. You did the opposite. You bragged to the stars and the moon about your private plane. This creates jealousy, this creates enemies, and this creates a group of people who are, you know, not happy about it. Because like I said, we are in a recession. A lot of people are struggling. There's stats coming out that 70% of all Americans can't even afford their bills. And here you are bragging about your plane. So you've already got people who are upset at that. Now you add insult to injury by saying, oh, and you didn't say this, but this is how people are interpreting it. Like, oh, my mother lives paycheck to paycheck and blah, blah, blah. But dude, you have a $13 million plane. So I see both sides, though, right? And I want to make sure I make my opinion clear here. I see both sides because I think, Kevin, you made the mistake of you posted your mother's business out there. Nobody in the public should know anything about your mother on that personal level. Nobody. Nobody should know that she lives paycheck to paycheck. That should be her business and your business. I don't care if she doesn't watch your YouTube, she doesn't watch social media. I'm sure some of your family members do. I'm sure there are people who know her who watch your social media. Stuff like that you got to keep private. Now, the one thing I will give you that I do understand, because I actually struggle with this as well with family and close friends, is the whole finance talk. I do agree with you. There are some people that you try to do everything you can for, and you just can't save. However, Kevin, I will say this too. I do think that even if you can't save your mom, and even if she makes bad financial decisions, which I could totally understand because there's a lot of people whose parents make awful financial decisions. I can absolutely relate to that. However, what I do want to say is it looks very bad for you when you have a private plane, you're traveling all the time, you're flexing the fact that you have $20 million net worth, you can retire if you want, blah, 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 blah. And your mother's living paycheck to paycheck. You have to understand why that would make anybody upset. Because the way that a lot of us look at it, you are a once in a lifetime talent. You've been able to use your speaking skills and your intellect and your reading abilities, all the stuff that you do, to amass an insane amount of wealth just for turning on a camera and talking, right? Basically for providing entertainment is what I would consider it. And it's a shame that you've been able to do so well for yourself, but your mother's living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I understand where you're coming from. You can't save everybody. Trust me, I get it. But you got to understand how that looks when you're speaking about it on social media and how a lot of people are going to take that. Because for me personally, I can tell you right now, if I had your amount of wealth, it wouldn't even matter how bad my mother's spending habits are. Because guess what? I'm going to retire my mother. That's how it's going to go. She's going to get a budget. Okay. She's going to have a certain amount of money that she gets every month or every year, whatever it is. You already said you bought the $700 house. So great. You did a good job on that. But I can tell you right now, if I had the wealth you have, my mother would not be living paycheck to paycheck. I understand you say you can't save everybody and it's unfair. And I understand a little bit of what you're saying. But I could see why it would rub people the wrong way for you to say that she's living paycheck to paycheck when you've got a $13 million jet and all these different things. I don't know the specifics, so it's hard for me to completely speak on everything that's going on. But all I can say is, most people that are in your position will retire their mother. So when you retire your mother, like I said, you get her a house, you get her a car, and then she gets a certain amount of money every month. That's how it goes. And if she decides to do dumb things with it, then hey, what can you say? But like I said, for me personally, if I had a mother who was bad with money, then I would make sure that I set her up with some type of like credit counselor or financial advisor, somebody who really understands, what you can and can't do. And I would just kind of explain to her. I would just say, hey, I know I have a lot of money, but money don't grow on trees. And, we can't just go out here losing our minds. So whatever toys or things that you were never able to afford when you were younger taking care of me, I want to make sure we get all of that out of the way now. So we're buying house, car. What else do you want? You want Gucci bag? What else do you want? You want a trip to Thailand? What do you want? Let's get it all out the way. Okay. So once we get all of that out the way, okay, now that we've gotten everything that you always want in your life out the way, you got everything. You got your favorite purse you always wanted. You got a car, you got a house, you got your furniture, you got everything that you need. Okay. Now I'm going to put you on a monthly budget because again, even though I'm extremely rich, I'm not a billionaire, okay? I don't have enough money where I could give you $1 million freaking dollars a month. So we're going to have to be realistic here. And I personally feel that any reasonable person would do that. Seriously, I think most mothers would do that. I don't know his full situation, but that's just my opinion. So that's really my overall opinions on this entire thing. I think, Kevin, you get yourself in these situations a lot because you just do dumb things. And it's like, I can't believe it, man. You're 31 years old and you still behave like a 20-year-old. You never learn. Why are you posting your mother's business out there? Of course, people are going to get on you. You're riding around in a $13 million jet and you're telling everybody that your mama's living paycheck to paycheck. How else do you think they're going to react? They don't know how the dynamics of your relationship with her is. They don't know that. Only you know that. That's why you don't put yourself in that position, because they're never going to understand your relationship with your mother because they're not you. You grew up with your mother. Only you understand. That's why certain things you don't put on the internet. You shut your dang mouth. I don't know why you made a video saying that your mother lives paycheck to paycheck. I don't know why you thought that was a good idea. I don't know why in God's name you would even put that in the public for everybody to know. Nobody needs to know that, dude. But now that they know it, again, you need to understand, Kevin, when you become a public figure, you open yourself to all types of scrutiny for everything that you do. And one thing you got to understand, Kevin, especially when you build up a certain amount of bad will for certain things you've done in the past, you are never going to win on the internet. I learned that a long time ago. The internet is damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're never going to win. So certain things, keep it off the internet. It's that simple. Now, in terms of what we do going forward, because I see here he talked about, I've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity, paid over $15 million in taxes, blah, blah, blah. It's very frustrating. Some people are mad that my mom lives paycheck to paycheck and say that I'm greedy. I'm not going to lie to you, Kevin. I'm going to be completely honest. That's really what I think, too. And I know a lot of other people think that as well. So instead of blaming everybody else like you always do, you have this very bad habit of blaming everybody but yourself and saying, I don't know why people think I'm greedy. I think you should take accountability and look in the mirror and think of all the things that have transpired over these last several years and think why a lot of people think that you're greedy. Because if you want my honest opinion, I kind of think you are too. Like, I'm sure you help your kids and pay for your wife. I'm sure you do things like that. I have no doubt about that. But when it comes to everything else, like giving to charity and going out of your way to help people and different things like that, I just really don't think you do. That's just my honest opinion. I really don't think so. Kevin Paffrath strikes me as somebody who only cares about Kevin Paffrath. Now, I do think that you care about your wife and kids. I do believe that. But I think that's it. I don't think you care about anybody else. So I can understand why people think that you're greedy. And again, the whole mom living paycheck to paycheck, dude, don't tell nobody else that. I'm going to tell you my famous saying that I say around my homies here in Chicago. Whenever they tell me something crazy like what you just told everybody, I say, listen here, come here. Don't tell nobody else that. That's what you need to do, Kevin. Don't tell nobody else that. Don't be walking around here telling people that your mama live paycheck to paycheck. I don't even know why you would say something like that. That's embarrassing. So anyway, man, you open yourself up to these type of things when you say stuff like that nobody needs to hear. And I mean, honestly, all I can say is I wish you the best with that. I'm not going to speak on your family dynamics or your relationship because I don't know. We all got interesting relationships with our parents, depending on how we grew up and how they raised us. I'm not here to judge nobody for that. All I'm here to do is just kind of give my own comments and critique on what you just said. And, I could really kind of see why a lot of people think that you are greedy. And I could also see why a lot of people are upset that you said that your mother lives paycheck to paycheck and we have a $13 million plane. Because let's be honest, had you never bought that $13 million plane, well, you'd be able to retire your mom and give her a certain amount of money every month so she can live the rest of her life happily ever after for the hard work that she did in raising you. You know what I mean? So I see both sides here. That's basically my takeaway from this. I see both sides. I'm leaning more towards the public side, the people who are critical of Kevin, more so than Kevin's side, because like I said, you shouldn't have said this in the first place. And, it just looks bad no matter how you try to put it to defend yourself. It looks bad when you got a $13 million plane you're bragging about. And mama is over there living paycheck to paycheck, barely can afford the bills. At least that's what it seems like you're writing. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the whole thing. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.